This is a battle in the Aggony 1v1 championship. Aggony Duck versus Johannes. Westphalia against the Emirate of Cordoba. New map this time. Bit of small lake here, a pond. For Westphalia, we have 4 archers in the front. Then we have axe warriors, a total of 4 of those. We have the Saxon cavalry. We have a dog, interesting, warhounds. Hearthguard on the flanks, noble javelins, and some more scout cavalry. Very similar to what you've seen Panda Warrior do with Westphalia. An effective army, no doubt. For Cordoba, we have Andalusian cavalry. We have Berber spears, Andalusian archers. A lot of archers. Andalusian cavalry, and in the center we have some Andalusian infantry. Skirmish cav, Berber raiders, 5 ammunition, 90 damage, terrifying to enemy cavalry. And the Umayyad guard cavalry, a very sturdy 30 bonus versus cavalry unit. But he's not really that. Against Westphalia, he's in danger of being shot to pieces by noble javelins or by the scout cav. However, the scout cav needs to be careful around these Berber raiders, because the Berber raiders have more ammunition, and once the scout cav. But the thing is, the scout cav, the Berber raiders, only 9 melee damage, no spear. So if the scout cav gives attack orders on the Berber raiders, they could very well take them off the field in melee quickly. The problem is getting in range, because these 90 missile damage, or sorry, these they have 70. These 70 missile damage bonus versus cavalry javelins are going to put the hurt on the scout cavalry, and the scout cavalry has 90 missile damage and a bigger bonus. However, only 2 ammunition. So this piece of terrain here in the center is quite interesting. Obviously, water is going to reduce charge bonus to 50%, and it's going to reduce speed to 50%. So these archers, some armored archers as well, they are very safe when posted here. Cavalry is going to be very slow, and everything that's happening across the water is going to be slow. However, Duck has the option here to claim the high ground and fire down on these units, on the archers of Cordoba. Swinging around the flanks could be an option, but the thing is, if you swing around the flanks, there's still the option for the opposing player to just move across and never allow you to flank on open ground. So a quite interesting map this. Almost reminds me of Shogun 2 map, aside from the dojos. The archers starting to trade at extreme range. They're not going to be that effective. It's going to take quite some time to whittle down the numbers of the enemy archers for both sides here. But the Andalusian archers are downhill, and you should see that in the amounts of kills. Yeah, these archers are getting a lot of kills on the Andalusians. However, there's also some... Let's see. It's really only... This archer unit isn't even firing at the moment. This archer unit is firing at the moment, but it's winning decisively against the Andalusian archers because of terrain. Terrain is so important, and the Andalusian archers are wavering because of the casualties they have sustained and because of how badly they are losing this engagement. So you don't see that too often, but the Andalusian archers have lost men so quickly that they're actually routing off the field here. So now these 2 units have the option to focus down these Andalusian archers. The armored archers are firing, so just ignore the armored archers, fire on the squishy Andalusians. They're going to be depleted very quickly. They could get some forest cover here actually, if that counts as forest. If it doesn't just count as water, I don't know how that works, because there is a definite forest here. But now the archers here are being focused on, and they're starting to lose men rapidly. They haven't been able to do too much.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
Trading quite equally here, I'd say, in terms of skirmish units. But I'd say it's good. It's good for the lightly armored Westphalians to trade missile fire like this, because it gives their skirmish cav a bit more room to maneuver. It gives their vulnerable axe warriors a bit of respite, and allowing missile units to deplete their ammunition in the early game can mean that late game becomes a lot better for the player with the most cavalry. Most cavalry and most infantry. So the warhounds are charging out here, getting into both the Andalusian archers and into the Berber spears. Now the warhounds are dropping extremely quickly. Warhounds really only work if a unit is moving backwards and doesn't give attack orders on the warhounds. So the Berber spears are moving like this. They're moving away from the warhounds now. And now the Berber spears are going to start dropping. Too bad there weren't that many warhounds left in that unit. Now the Andalusian cavalry charges into the Saxon cavalry. The Saxon cavalry is going to take a beating. The scout cavalry here is trading with 2 units of Berber Ginites. And the Berber Ginites, 90 missile damage on them. The Saxon cav chases them away, but they could get wrecked here in the water. Yep, running straight into the Umayyad guard. And down goes the Saxon cavalry. The Axis here are fighting up against shield wall units. Not in shield wall themselves, but the Andalusian infantry, they're not the sturdiest of sword units. So the Axis could very well break through here. Now they're going to get charged by the Andalusian cavalry in the flank. So that's going to tip the balance slightly in favor of the Andalusian infantry there. The Axis are pushing hard in the center, chasing away the entire center line of Cordoba. Now one charge from the Andalusian cavalry could severely deplete the axe warriors here. And the spear veterans running around. The dogs are supporting. But the Umayyad Guard cavalry has taken quite a bit of damage here. And yeah, with the cav charge, the axes here are starting to waver. The Andalusian infantry is starting to turn things around, but the spear veterans moving in with their high charge bonus could do a lot of damage to the Andalusian infantry here. We have a few scout cav units in the back of the Cordobans. Spear veterans getting intercepted on their way to the Andalusian cavalry. The Andalusian infantry not in shield wall, so they could struggle here against the spear veterans. And the Umayyad Guard is taking so much. Oh, the Andalusian. Wait. Oh, this was the horse guard. I saw the star. It looks like it's it looked like it was the Umayyad fighting there, but it was actually the horse guard joining the fight. Here is the Umayyad. So the Saxon cav going into the Berber raiders, both depleting the ammunition of the Berber Ginites and managing to get the Berber raiders off the field. Very useful. And the noble javelins holding their own against cavalry, able to charge now into the Andalusian archers should they wish to do so. The Horse Guard breaking through the enemy lines everywhere. Now charging into the Andalusian infantry in the forest. These archers desperately running after the Andalusian archers to stop them from firing. And the Andalusian infantry is losing decisively here, sending in everything against them, sending the axes in, sending the spears in, sending the Horse Guard in to remove this shield wall from the field quickly. And the charge bonus of these units is being reduced, but the Andalusian infantry is wavering because of the massed assault from the Westphalians. The scout cavalry doing a bit of damage here, but 39 bonus versus large on the Umayyad Guard now, taking down the scout cavalry really quickly. But the Andalusian infantry is struggling. There are a few archer units here able to snipe enemy cav units. The noble javelins do have ammunition remaining. The 30th charge bonus is very useful against enemy skirmishers. Here they're fighting against armored archers. The Berber Genites charging in, getting charged themselves by spear veterans. And these spear veterans have done a pretty good job for being a spear unit in this battle. 31 charge bonus. And they do offer the Westphalians some much needed armor. Now the noble javelins get charged in the back here by the Berber Genites, so they're going to start struggling. But the Cordoban center completely collapsed. The general is fine, and the Umayyad is in peril. He's continuing to lose men here,
The men are broken and
taking
running for their
fire.
lives.
The spear veterans charging into the Berber spears. They are exhausted, so they're going to be far less effective than they would be otherwise. And the Berber spears are very, very tired, so it's quite evenly matched, this. But the Berber spears are winning. They seem to have a slight elevation advantage here. Still, the Umayyad guard is being chased away by missile fire. He's continuing to lose men from the arrows. The noble javelins chasing away the Andalusian archers. Stop them from firing on the Hearth Guard. No cavalry left on the field for Westphalia. But the few cav units that are remaining for Cordoba, they are very depleted. And this general is one charge away from potentially dying. Berber Genites being used against the archers here. This archer unit is so important, but it gets charged by the Berber Genites on a suicide mission. Now the Hearth Guard charging in. 35 charge bonus for a sword unit is immense. So it's going to very quickly wrap up this fight in favor of the Westphalians. And getting that archer unit off the field was so important for Cordoba.
The men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
But I still think the Cordobans are going to struggle here. The Hearth Guard is a very dangerous unit. It's going to be able to kill Berber raiders very quickly, doubly so if they start pulling out. A lot of Cordoban units running off the field now. Spears chasing after the Andalusian archers, stop them from firing. And the noble javelins are about to get charged by a very depleted unit of Berber Genites, so they should be able to take them out no problem. And another unit of Berber Genites charging into spear veterans. The spear veterans getting fired upon by the Andalusian archers. Here come the Umayyad guard. They don't want to charge into a spear wall. And the noble javelins are holding their own against the Genites, both having very low melee damage. So this fight is going to take a while. The Andalusian archers want to take the spear veterans off the field. And the balance of power is starting to become a problem now for Cordoba. They have a few units left, they have some ammunition left, but as these skirmishers are using their ammunition, the balance of power shifts in favor of Westphalia. So a Pyrrhic victory there for Westphalia. Very closely fought battle. Bringing dogs was a peculiar choice, but it's one of those things. It can work if you're exceptionally lucky. Now, for the Cordobans, armored archers stay alive, do a lot of damage, but the Westphalian infantry, the combination of axe warriors and a Hearth Guard to go and clean up units, they got a lot of nice kills there. And even the heavily armored spear veterans managed to do a good job, whereas the Berber raiders do a good job overall. Just a difficult map to use the cavalry's mobility on because of the water in the center, so I quite like that map. Aggony Duck takes the first battle. Let's see what happens in game number 2. Strength and Honor.